Hey guys, it's Joey. Got my cup of coffee. It's a cat mug. Look at that. I don't know. I might spill it. So tonight's episode was a little weird, a little fractured, a little all over the place. I felt like there was a lot of things happening and a lot of nothing happening. And also, just you and I. James has always been cool. We all know that, right? We all know James has always been cool. James is the coolest cat in Twin Peaks. And who better to play at the Roadhouse than James? But to be serious, the song is so cheesy, and I cracked up. I laughed. I lolled for real. When that scene came on. Also, Audrey is really upsetting me. She seems really messed up, and she said she didn't feel like herself. So I'm wondering, maybe if Cooper did mess with her, if Cooper did something to her, maybe he took a bit of her soul. Maybe he took a bit of... I feel like maybe he took something from her. Maybe it's some kind of ritual that happened. So, I don't know, like a little ritual, or if something happened when Bob, Doppel Cooper, you know, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. You know, when they had sex with Audrey, something, I think, from her soul was taken from her. Some part, essential part of Audrey, the Audrey we came to love in the original Twin Peaks, was taken to make Richard. Maybe the darkest part of Audrey, the fearless part of Audrey, because Richard, although he's evil, seems fearless. So, and Audrey seemed very afraid. She seems just very afraid in this episode. In the last episode we saw her, she seems very afraid. So I'm wondering if just when she had Richard, or when Richard was conceived, all that was taken from her. All that was pulled out from her and given to Richard. Just a theory I have, but I feel like that might have been what happened. And again with Dougie, we see Dougie saving the day again. He's saving his co-worker that was out to get him, that's now forgiven and on the path to right. Tom Sizemore, Dougie's co-worker, Anthony Sinclair, gave an amazing performance. He did that sort of groveling, you know, stressed out sort of mess of a man performance, and I definitely want to give him props, because I think his, you know, that scene, there's been a lot of good sort of losing it scenes, sort of crisis, crying hysterically scenes in this. We saw that with William Hastings, and I think it just ultimately becomes the most memorable part of the episode. I mean, besides James Hurley singing You and I, which I never thought I'd see again in a show, but it seems like he's headlining, singing that song with his two backup singers. Now, one of the weirdest scenes in the episode is probably Sarah Palmer's house. Not sure what went on there, but we saw her just drinking a huge ashtray of cigarettes on her table, and we hear the boxing match, which keeps repeating. I'm not sure if she's watching it on a loop. Boxing has also been a theme that has come up. We see it in Dougie's boss's office. We see that big poster of the boxing match, and then we just in Sarah Palmer's house, it just keeps repeating. There's that weird electrical noise, and it just repeats and repeats and repeats. And also, I noticed that there was bunnies on the table. On the TV stand, there were bunnies on both sides, which I thought was pretty interesting. So I'm not sure what was going on there. There's definitely some kind of weird electricity thing happening, something happening with her TV. It's causing things to repeat. I don't know if she's intentionally watching things on repeat, but something is causing a loop, and she doesn't seem to be interested in it. Of course, she's probably super drunk. I feel like anytime we've seen Sarah in this series, generally she's, you know, intoxicated somehow. It's really disheartening, but she has not had a good life. It's been 25 years and she's just alone. Straight up alone, and she's not dealing with it well, and obviously something else is going on with her. So Dougie is safe once again out of his, you know, his compassion, unintentional compassion, where he went and it looked like he saw the dandruff on Anthony's jacket, his suit jacket, and he just went and sort of gave him a massage and sort of, you know, kind of calmed him down. And then that's when Anthony broke down and confessed and felt all the remorse and guilt and, you know, future guilt and terribleness that he was going to feel if he killed Dougie Jones. So now Dougie is free from him. And then I'm going to jump back to this whole Cooper Ray thing. Ray is dead now. Cooper shot Ray. Jefferies seems, in the beginning of the series, it seemed like Cooper was working with Jefferies. He was trying to get Jefferies or get to Jefferies. And now it seems like Jefferies has a plan of his own. Jefferies is out to get Cooper. I don't know if Jefferies is David Bowie's character. It seems like Jefferies is becoming the sort of no-face entity. We want to still see David Bowie, but he's filling out a little bit more. He's seeming a lot more sinister, and I have even more questions about Jefferies than I did when I watched Fire Walk with Me for the first time. We know that he's moved in time. He's jumped around in time. What is keeping him here? Is it Bob? Is it Doppel Coop? What does he want from him? What does Jefferies want? What is Jefferies' ultimate goal? I'm starting to think we're actually going to see Jefferies. We're going to see David Bowie. I have this gut sense that we're going to see him in some way. Maybe they're going to do sort of a special CGI kind of thing. Maybe it's actually going to be Bowie. Maybe it's going to be somebody else as Jefferies, or as whatever Jefferies is or became. And I say became because we saw what happened to the arm. It became sort of the tree. So I'm thinking maybe Jefferies might not look like David Bowie, or might look like a distorted version of him. I'm not, again, this is just me straight up theorizing. I don't know. I'm going to be frank with you guys. This episode honestly confused me the most out of any we've seen so far. Everything just seems so fractured, and everything is jumping all over the place. And I'm trying to think of it as in a sort of like a linear way, as we saw episode 12 and now we're getting 13. And how do these make sense together? Because I feel like now that we're reaching the sort of the end of everything, things are going to start jumping around a lot until we get to the conclusion. I don't know if it's going to be a straight up conclusion, but the conclusion of Twin Peaks: The Return. Everything seems to be scattered. Everything seems to be hectic. I'm having trouble keeping up with it. I'm having trouble understanding what's happening in time. I don't know if there are multiple timelines going on now. I've been reading stuff all over the web. I'm not sure which theory to follow, honestly. I'm not sure which rabbit hole to go down. More rabbits. I know that's just a saying, but I feel like that saying sort of harkens back to what we're experiencing here, a rabbit hole. And we're seeing the big swirly hole. This is going deep, 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 deep. And it's entering a lot of mythos, a lot of sort of mythology and religion, and there's all things you could pick from and pick off of and theorize about and say, yes, this reminds me of this looks like this, and it's really insane. Also, it seems like Cooper now has the coordinates to Twin Peaks, so it seems like Evil Cooper, or Mr. C, whatever you want to call him, is going to be heading back to Twin Peaks at some point now that he has the coordinates. If the coordinates Ray gave him are correct, he's going to be heading to Twin Peaks, and shit is going to go down. There's going to be quakes in the force, I imagine, because Cooper was such a light in that town, and it's been 25 years since he's been there, and now we have this evil Cooper force moving in, and Dougie Cooper is still, lost in space in Las Vegas. So I don't know. I honestly, guys, I don't want to break your heart. I don't know if we're going to see our Cooper again. I don't think our Cooper exists anymore. I think this is Cooper, the shell of Cooper, and it has the sort of aroma of Cooper and the quirks of Cooper, but I don't know if it's him. I'm beginning to get a little skeptical. I want to believe it's him. I really do. I want to believe that our Dale Cooper is going to be back, but I'm weary. I'm not sure it's going to turn out that way. There's a lot of evil happening. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of tension building, and I respect Mark Frost and David Lynch for doing that, because they're making the art they want. They're not going to make something that's going to be. They're not going to create something just to satisfy our sort of anxieties about it. They're going to tell the story they want to tell in their heads, and we're going to have to sort of live with it. We're going to like it. We're not going to like it. We're going to have mixed feelings about it. But I do trust the storytellers. I trust their vision and their story, and I'm just happy to, be able to witness it and enjoy it, because I do think Twin Peaks is iconic you know, groundbreaking, whatever adjective you want to use, really solid television. But Dale, Evil Cooper, is after Jefferies. I want to know more about Jefferies. I hope we see Jefferies before the finale. I feel like we're going to get close to Jefferies. He knows his location now. So maybe he'll head there before he heads to Twin Peaks. Maybe we'll see Jefferies next episode or in 2 episodes. We're about 5 out now from the end. It's hard. I could barely believe we're only 5 hours out of the end. It seems like it was yesterday when it started. And then we get the dossier in October. All right, guys, please, I know this was a weird one. Please let me know what you thought about the episode. If you have any theories anything you picked out and saw in an episode that sort of, you know, caught your eye or, you know, made the wheels turn and you found something or you're trying to figure something out, please share, because I felt a little lost with this episode, to be completely frank. I felt a little lost. I felt there was a little too much happening, and then there's just a lot happening. We got to see Big Ed. That's a cool thing. Norma, Big Ed, not together anymore. Nadine, Jacoby, sort of having a little, you know, cute little thing. But again, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you like these videos. There's going to be more Twin Peaks videos to come, even when the show's over. So stay tuned. Like this video, and of course, comment with your theories, because, you know, I love to hear them and love to discuss them with you guys. All right, I shall check you guys very soon. 5 episodes left.